All right, in this video I want to break down the proper formatting of a CSV sheet, whether you're going after multiple cities within a state or suburbs or whatever. So I just want to give you an illustration of how it works and color code it, because that does seem to help. So the proper setting basically is to put your categories along the top row. You can see them in yellow here. So this would be like state 1, state 2, state 3, state 4. And then your posts, these would be category pages, and then your posts would be city 1, city 2, city 3 for the first category, and then for the second category it'd be city 1, city 2, city 3. Not meaning the same cities, just meaning the number of cities within the particular category. So those are all in green. So the green things would basically become posts, and the yellow one would become your category pages. So to illustrate this a little further, I've actually created a small sample. So for instance, if we were targeting 3 cities in Arizona, Arizona would become the category and it would create a category page. And then Phoenix, Tucson, and Mesa would be city 1, 2, and 3 within Arizona. And then that would kind of continue on for as many states as you wanted. So in this example, we have 4 states, which means we're going to create 4 category pages, Arizona, California, Colorado, and Florida. And in each one, we're targeting 3 different cities within those states. Okay. The other option that you have is also to upload this into a text format rather than a CSV, because I know some of you are having trouble with CSVs. So I've actually broken that down into how to turn this CSV into a text file. And it's really quite simple. Since we're working within Arizona and we have 3 cities, you can see them right here. So Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, it should be Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, Mesa. So your category is the far left, and then on the right is the list of the cities. So your category is always staying the same, but the cities are changing. So you can see for California, we have California, Los Angeles, which is this one. Then we have California, San Diego, and then we have California, San Jose, and then we repeat that process for Colorado as well as Florida. And this style of formatting can actually be saved in a text format and uploaded into SERPtech instead of using CSVs if you prefer to do it that way. So just a quick video to give you guys a little bit more of an illustration of how things work. A couple more notes. You don't have to have multiple categories in a scenario where you're targeting a single city with the suburbs. What I've been doing is, let's say if I was targeting Colorado, the city of Denver in Colorado, what I'd actually do, just to get good URL structure, is I would create the top level as Colorado, okay, and then I would do suburbs, okay, within Colorado. If I was doing one city, which would be like Denver, Colorado, I'd put that as the top, and then I'd list all the suburbs of Denver. So suburb 1, okay, and then suburb URB, suburb 2, suburb 3. Okay, so this would be how I've been building for a single city. Once again, I put the province at the top. That just gives us a good URL structure. So just to give you an example of how the URL structure would look, it would be http www.domain.pro/Colorado. Okay, just to add the Colorado in there, and then post 1 would be either, you know, Denver keyword, or reverse that, it could be keyword Denver. Okay, so you can do it either way with your short codes using keyword and post name. But remember, anything in green, and including this one because it's in white because I spilt over, but anything in green are going to be your posts. And in a suburb scenario, I create the top the top is basically the state. The next one would be the city, and then the next one would be all the suburbs, and that gives you this kind of URL structure, which is really, really good in Google. So hopefully this short little video will help you guys out with your planning and your CSVs, as well as your text files if you prefer not to use CSVs. I guess the one last thing that I will cover is if I back this out to the original setting, okay, I could only have 1 open tab, so I'm going to delete this sheet because you can see down here I have 2. Now, if this was my CSV, okay, I'm personally working in openoffice.org. It's free software that you can download, and it's easy to use and quick. And if I'm going to save this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click File, Save As, Okay, and then I'm gonna just name it whatever. We'll just save it on our desktop here, and we'll just call it sample geo, okay, just so it's easy to find. And then when we save it, what you're gonna wanna do is make sure of a couple things here, okay. I'm gonna save that again, I might have selected the wrong one. Okay, we're gonna file save as. You're gonna wanna make sure you're selecting CSV, okay? And we'll save it as sample CSV, and we'll say yes. And what should pop up is a little screen that asks you the type. You want to save it as a type UTF-8. Okay, there's also, if you're not using OpenOffice, you might see a UTF-8 DOM. You don't want that, you just want UTF-8, and you also want it in comma separated values. So let me actually illustrate this for you. I'm gonna save this as a spreadsheet, and then we'll open it and resave it. So I'm going to save this as an ODS, which is ODS is the kind of base format for OpenOffice spreadsheets. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. So now we're working in an ODS now. Okay, and you can tell what you are working with up in the top left. It says sample geo.ods up here. Now I'm going to save this as a CSV to show you the proper format. Okay, we're gonna switch from ODS down here. We're gonna switch it to text CSV. Okay, and we'll save it. And we'll say yes, we're gonna replace that. And now keep current format, and we'll get one more pop-up, and here's where you need to make sure you're changing this part right here to UTF-8, okay? And your field delimiter, you wanna make sure you're setting to a comma. And that's all you have to do. And then when you press okay, it'll save properly for you. And now when we close it, we can open up that sample geo.csv, and you can see when you're loading it, it already has UTF-8 and comma delimited, and it shows properly here. And if it's showing properly here when you're opening, it will work properly as well when you're uploading it into SERPtech as well. So that's the save settings, but please remember that's only the save settings for openoffice.org. And if you are having trouble with your software, I recommend that you download it because they have it available for Windows or Mac machines as well. Okay, thanks guys, bye.